Somewhere there is more love. Somewhere I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
Can I steal a chair? Hi, everyone. This is the time where I invite anyone young or young at heart to join me on the stage for a time of wonder.
I want to open the lunchbox.
Are you Chester?
I want to open the lunchbox.
Are you Chester? Have you opened it in a while?
I don't think I should.
Okay, let me come open the box. What do you see in there? Mittens and a mug.
two glove mittens.
Mittens. That's part in the story. Our theme this month is choosing hope, and I have a fun book for you all today. It's called Winter is the Warmest Season. Does that make any sense? It's by Lauren Stringer. Is winter the warmest season? We're going to find out.
Summer.
Winter is the warmest season.
No, it isn't. This book lies. It's a big lie. Yeah.
Most people think it's summer with its long, steamy days, but not me. My world is warmest in winter. When winter comes, my jacket puffs warm with feathers. My hat grows ear flaps. My pants hide deep in fuzzy boots. And my hands wear warm, woolly sweaters, like we found in the Wonder Box. When winter comes, summer's plants and animals sleep deep under thick blankets of snow. See all these? While the snowmen I build dance on top, wearing warm wraparound scarves. You see snowmen anywhere else?
Yeah.
Where?
On your socks.
On my socks. When winter comes, my iced summer's milk turns to hot chocolate. Cold jelly sandwiches turn into grilled cheeses. Hot soups, hot pies, and oven-hot breads make the winter the warmest for the inside of me. When winter comes, summer's cool fans hide in dark basements, while sleeping radiators awake to their dragon cells, banging and hissing and pouring heat all through my house. When winter comes, cats sit on laps instead of windowsills. They want to be warm too. Even nights are warmer in winter. Fires burn in fireplaces. Candles burn in candle places. I think parties are warmer in winter. And when summer's cool swims turn into winter's hot baths, I know my pajamas will grow big, warm feet. My bed is warmest in winter, piled high with blankets of plaid, blankets striped yellow, and a blue starry quilt on top. In winter, bodies sit closer, books last longer, and hugs squeeze the warmest. Even friends are warmer. And in winter, when it's the very warmest and I close my sleepy eyes, I might dream of summer, just to cool me off. So what does this book teach us about choosing hope? It's about enjoying where we are right now, I think. But
Sometimes it can be really cold, but it can also be really warm at the same time.
right. Thank you. This book reminds me just how much adults can learn from childlike wonder. It shows us that with a new perspective, we can find warmth on the coolest days. Parents and caregivers, if you have not yet signed your children out for RE, please follow them into the parlors so that you can do it now. I invite you to sing out the children Where You Go, which is in the back of your gray hymnal and not on the screens. Where you go, I will go. Oops. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine.
Matters of our lives this morning will be presented by Marie McRae and Seema Mather.
Good morning. Seema and I are members of the Environmental Interest Circle here, and we're here this morning to tell you about a few of our hopes. The hope that gets me through the week is thinking that each of us, every one of us, will spend time and thought on reducing our use of fossil fuels. In 2024, when I learned that there was grant money available through a NYSEG program to make changes in the heating system in the annex, I pursued that. And that resulted in having energy-efficient heat pump system installed, and we kicked the gas furnace out the door. For many years, Fuzit has bought electricity through a community solar provider. And so that means that we already get a 5% reduction in the supply cost. But we thought, what about putting solar panels on the annex roof and getting our electricity free from the sun? We had a local solar installer explore that possibility for us, but we found, unfortunately, that on that roof, solar panels would only get about 50% of the sun exposure that they needed, so that was not a prudent investment. But still pursuing the goals of living within Fuzit's physical reality and reducing our fossil fuel use. There are a few of us looking now at insulating the attic in the parish house. There's a bit of a tug between keeping some storage space open and putting in more insulation that would keep us warmer with less energy spent, but we'll work that out. Hope and resilience tell me that there's always another way to look at saving energy and saving money. And if anybody out there has hopes of making changes in their own home and would like to start a conversation about that, I'm happy to talk to you. And now I turn this over to Seema.
So, speaking of hope and overcoming obstacles, I feel strongly, and I see with some people's model behavior, that with hope we can and do explore solutions. And accessing this hope, though, can sometimes seem really difficult. I've recently explored a Krista Tippett On Hope course, reflection exercise in Ithaca, with a local environmental activist, Claire Nichols. And we would like to support others in exploring that content here in Fuzit. What is it? How will we support it? And how do you get involved? Well, what is it? It's a series of 6 thoughtful prompts, and I'm reading basically from the web. The reflection content is curated by Krista Tippett and draws upon her conversations with several visionary humans, such as Naomi Nye and Joanna Macy. Together, they extend rich and actionable invitations for a muscular, reality-based hope. They offer ways of seeing and living to lay our hands and our hearts, our imaginations and life force on the generative possibilities of life in this time. The content provides an audio reading prompt for reflection and a series of questions for journaling and/or discussion. How will we support it? The Environmental Interest Group would like to offer our support to existing small group ministries to help you navigate the reflection exercises. Alternately, if you're not currently in a small group ministry and you're interested in this exploration, we will be creating a small group in person that will start with this content and possibly continue as a small group ministry. And finally, if you're interested in walking through the content alone, in all cases, reach out to Brian Harrington or myself or Marie, and we will share some of the links and provide any support you need to explore the content. We will also be in the parlor after our service. Our contact information is also on Breeze, so however you want to contact us, feel free. Why? My hope is by tapping into the muscular reality-based hope in this congregation, we can enrich the work we do together and even expand our impact. Also, if you're interested in exploring joining us in the environmental interest group work here at Fuzit, reach out to all of the people I mentioned or Matt Frankie Singer.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Hochstetter, and today is my first time doing Joys and Sorrows. And I have to start with a story about Joys and Sorrows because in reality it's one of my favorite parts of the service. 30 years ago, I came in and sat back there and was going through a pretty hard divorce. And this woman who was probably my age now came up and shared her journey of a sudden divorce. And I had two thoughts. I thought, okay, if she can do this, I have hope that I can do this. And two, oh my God, these people actually care what happens in your life. So I kept coming back. So here I am now. And I'm going to start with, on the first Sunday of every month, we tell you how to add a joy and sorrow into the service. There are two different ways that your joy or sorrow or appreciation can be submitted for inclusion on Sunday. You can send notices to Joys and Sorrows at uuithaca.org by 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, or you can fill out a green card before the service and place it in this basket inside the door of the parlor. When considering what you might say in your joys and sorrows, please note these services are live streamed and are public on the YouTube channel. Okay, so in the spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows of our community, to share these events that call for our prayers and support, our praise and celebration. So for today, we want to hold the Richards family is mourning the unexpected loss of Martha Lowe, spelled L-A-U-X, a beloved mother and grandmother. Please hold them and their family in your hearts as they navigate this time of grief. We also want to hold the Nancy and Rich Dodge, their family, for Nancy's mom, Betty Jones, passed away on December 3rd. At the age of 99 years old, surrounded by love. Betty had 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 11 great-grandchildren. She was grateful and loving right until she left us. Today, I would like to take a moment to honor Deborah Castillo. She was a Cornell professor and the organizer of our Christmas play, who passed on October 5th. Our pastorella today at 2:30 is our way of grieving and honoring her on stage. Please join us if you can. You can speak with Anna Florencia if you want more information. And our last joy for concern is I'm thinking today of all of the people taking care of aged family members. Let's keep them in our hearts. Now, for those we are holding in our thoughts and in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, into this community, into this space of healing and hope, let us all call these names out loud or speak them in your hearts right now. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and there are many. And let us not forget to extend loving kindness to ourselves. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness, and let us keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be, and amen.
Good morning. I'm Teresa O'Connor, and we'll do a bit of meditation right now. So I invite you to sit solidly and comfortably in your seat. Let us take a deep breath. Hope is not a mood we wait for, it is a choice we make. A small, steady flame we tend with our hands and our courage. Hope is the quiet refusal to accept cruelty as normal or indifference as inevitable. It is the voice within that whispers, begin where you are, Do what you can. The future is shaped by moments like this. As we breathe, may we feel ourselves part of a long human story, a story of compassion, defiance, imagination. May this breath be our promise to keep tending the flame of hope and to live toward the world that could be.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be well.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude for this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of this church. For those watching remotely, follow the instructions on the screen. For those attending in person, our ushers will pass the plate.
For anyone wondering, hi, I am Ana Florencia, and we're the group that is running the play, the Christmas play later today. The songs I'm singing for you today are part of my new album called Roots, and this song particularly, I dedicate to Debbie today. It's called It's Okay. Laughter
Please join me in saying the offertory words. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
Beautiful song, Anna, thank you. This is a reading from The Courage to Act by Howard Zinn. To be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, and kindness. If we see only the worst, it destroys our capacity to do something. If we remember those times and places where people have behaved magnificently, this gives us the energy to act. The future is an infinite succession of presents, and to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, it is itself a marvelous victory. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world.
We could stop right there, right? Just kind of let it settle in. I think all of us coming here are looking for that kind of renewal. The last time I spoke with you, I invited us to explore blessing, that quiet grace that steadies us when we're in pain and keeps the spirit within us tender and awake. Today I want to turn to its close companion, what we've been speaking about, hope. The power that orients us toward the future and calls us to imagine and build what love still makes possible. See, blessing holds us, hope moves us. Blessing assures us that we belong. Hope urges us to act as if renewal is still possible, even when the world gives us great reason to doubt. And these days, do give us many reasons to doubt. When our courage is tested, our imagination can feel restrained. Yet right where encouragement threatens to take hold, hope refuses to surrender. It becomes less a feeling and more a discipline, a way of remaining upright in a world that keeps trying to bend us low. If blessing roots us in gratitude, hope draws us to creativity, the courage to shape something new without any guarantee of outcome. Some of you, I'm sure, saw the recent interview with Jane Goodall. Did you all see it? The one she requested to be released only after her death. Long before that, she had already become an elder in the art of refusing despair. When asked whether she believed in God, she answered simply, "I believe in a deep spiritual presence because I have experienced it." For Goodall, the words "begin where you are" wasn't just a slogan. It was a practice, simple and demanding. I like this. Go to the forest, sit, watch, listen. Let knowledge be earned through patience, and let reverence arrive through relationship. And so I want to ask you at this time to pause, to ask within your own heart, in your own life, where is your forest these days? Your place, your practice, your small sanctuary, where you go to remember what's real and to let your nervous system unclench with all the challenges of our time. Where is your forest these days? That unclenching matters. not because it solves everything, but because it makes us capable of choosing again. Hope, after all, is not just a feeling we stumble into. It's a discipline we must return to, one breath and one brave choice at a time. Jane spoke not of the language of doctrine, but of encounter. The rustle of leaves, the gaze of a chimpanzee, her love of dogs. The quiet intelligence threaded through the living earth is what she would speak of. And from that way of seeing, hope became a practice of fidelity to what is real, to what is vulnerable, to what is still possible. Faith in that sense is not a certainty to be proven, but a relationship to be tended to. A mystical hope grounded not in perfection, but in the resilience of life itself. Because Jane felt that presence, she said she could not give in to despair. She kept showing up for the world, trusting that the spirit that stirred in her life stirred also in others and in our earth that we share. This, I believe, is the work of hope, to sense ourselves as part of something enduring and alive. Hope, like Goodall's faith, is not a debate about truth, but a commitment to keep caring, because we belong to the life that unfolds before us and through us. But belonging is not the same as complacency. In fact, real belonging can sharpen our moral clarity. When we learn to love what is living, we become less willing to accept what diminishes life. History shows how easily the way things are can be baptized or inevitable or even holy if left unengaged. That is why, alongside the language of encounter, we also need the language of resistance. The theologian Darley Soul said that hope is a refusal to accept the world as it is. She grew up in Germany during and after the Nazi era and witnessed the moral collapse of churches that blessed or ignored unchecked cruelty. The horrors of that time shook her faith deeply and forced her to reconsider power, evil, and what it means to speak of the sacred at all. She rejected the idea of a distant, all-controlling deity, watching suffering from afar. She reimagined the sacred instead as vulnerable and relational, present where people rise together for life, what she called love in process. Many of our Unitarian Universalist tradition can find resonance here across our varied beliefs, our varied spiritualities. Whether we understand the sacred theistically, poetically, or entirely in human terms, we can and do share her insistence that meaning, renewal, and responsibility are found not beyond the world, but within it, within ourselves. We hear those messages. We heard beautiful messages even today. And yet when we imagine the world's healing depends solely on our individual endurance, a quieter despair can slip in, right? When we rely entirely on a sense of will, a quieter despair, our hearts can grow tired under the weight of it. That's where her mystical imagination became helpful to me in my own thinking. Mysticism, for her, was not about supernatural intervention, but a widened perception, a reminder that life is still unfolding, that we are connected to something larger, that our own strength or sorrow, that every act of love participates in shaping a future we cannot yet see. We might call this capacity simply imagination, not fantasy, but spiritual perception. The ability to perceive more than the present moment's cruelty, to trust that new possibilities emerge when people join their courage with others. Imagination in this regard broadens our moral bandwidth. It reminds us that we draw on the resilience of community, the wisdom of ancestors, and the small solidarities that keep movements alive, past and present. Seen in this way, mysticism is not escape, but deeper engagement, a refusal to let despair be the final word. It is a quiet insistence that even in struggle, love in us and among us is still unfolding. Ours is a faith that trusts the ongoing creativity of the universe, the unfinishing nature of truth, and the resilience from relationship. Hope then becomes sacred realism, the conviction that renewal remains possible because it is woven into the fabric of existence. Hope begins as a holy no, a refusal of cruelty, greed, and indifference. It's also a holy no to how those emotions creep into our own souls when we're overwhelmed with anger and rage about what is not well in the world. We must grow into a sacred yes again and again, a commitment to the slow, faithful work of remaking the world in the image of love. For Sol, and it really helped me to know that she lived in a time in which it was really, really difficult to even have words to express her horror, her despair at the evil and the persistence of it. But she said hope was never about prediction. It's about participation, joining with others, trusting the divine continues to breathe through our hands and even through our shaken hearts. Blessing reminds us that life is holy. Hope, though, commits us to help it flourish. Hope is the spiritual muscle that keeps us leaning toward the light, even when shadows fall long. It is how love endures through those who keep showing up, one act of reverence, one act of courage at a time. If hope begins as a refusal to accept the world as it is, it becomes a daily practice of building the world as it could be. Hope asks for us more than a feeling. It asks for participation again and again. It calls us to tend the fragile possibilities still within reach. Like blessing, hope is renewed through practice, small, steady disciplines that open us to possibility, and we need all of them. The discipline of attention, noticing beauty, wonder, all of what is well in an ordinary day as a necessary practice. It includes the practice of gratitude and naming what remains good and trustworthy and sharing it with others. It needs the courage of solidarity, standing with others in the work of repair. These practices train the heart to resist despair. They remind us that our smallest acts do matter, and together they form a constellation of light. And when our own hope falters, as it will, the community holds it until we can take it up again. There will be days when hope feels far away, when grief is deep and the future unclear. It is why we gather here each week, to help each other to be in this time. On those days, though, I want to remember and invite you to remember that hope does not always begin as a feeling. It begins as a choice, a small decision to turn toward life, to keep faith with what is possible. Hope does not deny suffering. It looks honestly at the truth of the world and still refuses to give up on its redemption. It is what allows us to stand in the rubble and plant a seed to say, this too can grow. Sol taught us that hope refuses to accept the world as it is, but hope also trusts that we can help make it anew. and that we are part of that something larger, a living stream of courage that flows through every generation. And when despair whispers that nothing can change, may we remind each other to listen instead to a deeper voice that has carried creation forward throughout time. We are not alone in this work. We are accompanied by those who came before us, by those who labor beside us, and by the unseen life of the earth itself. Hope is not ours to manufacture. It is ours to join. And when we join it, when we keep faith with the sacred unfolding of life, we discover again what Jane Goodall and the mystics have always known, that a deep spiritual presence, however you name it, still moves through this world, renewing, connecting, calling us to serve. May this be so. Before Jack. So Laura Ramos, our beloved music director, is also a music teacher. And if any of you know what NISMA is like for music teachers, when she returns, please give her your warmest welcome. Music teachers working around the clock with happy children and not so happy children. Yes. But Jack is rescuing us, jumping into his volunteer director of music today. So let's give Jack a round of applause before we sing our final hymn.
All right, I'm glad you've warmed up your hands, because now you're going to give a round of applause to Mike Daniels and Cheryl Botts, thanks to whom we will have hospitality in the parlor. We had a paucity of volunteers, and one of the remaining volunteers got sick. We get what we give ourselves. It's wonderful when a small number of people give a great deal. It's also wonderful when everybody gives a little bit. But thanks to the small number of people who have given a great deal today. All right, and now we will sing One More Step, which is number 168 in the hardcover hymnal.
Please rise as you're able.
Thank you. I'll play it through once and then we'll start. Sorry for confusing you on the last one.
One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us, and everyone will take one more step. One more word, we will say one more word, till every word is heard, but everyone will say one more word. One more prayer, we will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared by everyone will say one more prayer. One more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone will sing one more song.
Friends, indeed, that rises again and again from the heart of life itself, And as we go, may we each be carried not by certainty, but by faithfulness, not by ease, but by courage, not by outcomes, but by the living promise that the world is still being made whole if we are of service in that renewal. Blessed be.
There's a little star that's growing inside. Soon enough it'll go out to the world. And in this warm November sun, I wonder, how can it be? Everything just hurts.
we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service has ended. Let our true service now begin. Go in peace.
You could bring him to that.